night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
I just realized my mic was muted this whole time, everyone. Hello, hello. Yes, always having some technical issues. Sorry. Okay, welcome to the third round of the MX5 Media. This is the taking place on the Paris Eiffel circuit. I don't speak French, so I won't be able to say the core names, but I do have it on screen for you guys. Looks like we had a bunch of drivers do 142's. The fastest time in free practice was a 142.1, done by Martin Smith, who was on provisional pole at the moment with 6 minutes left in the session. So he had a pretty foggy qualifying, so hopefully the drivers, we would see a 141 if possible. Very possible today, especially with the low fuel, if anyone was kind of holding something in a reserve tank. Our last pole sitter, James Leader, only doing a 143.2 at the moment. Struggled a little bit in free practice, only managing, I believe, 13th best. But as the session goes on, he should get faster, as always. Championship settings right now, we have both Martin Smith and Dave Martin, who are 1 and 2 right now in the championship, as well as on the in the polls times. So it'll be another close fight between them. Only separated by 8 points, or 6 points, I'm sorry. From my understanding, the tracks, the optimal setups for you can either go for a very, or as Tyler just kind of bends it there, goes back to pits, probably just cooked it a little bit too much. Still has plenty of time to set a lap. The two setups the drivers are going for are either a very oversteery setup to maximize their performance in sectors 1 and 2, but will suffer a little bit in sector 3. Or you can go for a more balanced setup that can take the curbs really well. This will give you the most consistent lap times, but you will be a little bit more vulnerable to people who are willing to take a little risk. Personally, I'd go with the oversteery setup for quali and the more balanced setup for the race. Just to, you know, when you go into fights and you're driving offline, it just seems to be the better option. On board here with Ashley C, given a nice P7 144.1, the best non-43 time on the board so far. Uppo with a purple sector 1. Not too bad, off by getting 500s on the previous best. Nice shot of the Eiffel Tower there. It's be an amazing track to race in real life. Gives very much Monaco vibes, but looks quite a bit wider. So, especially with these cars, it'll be nice and racy. Couple with a personal best sector 2, just about under 7/10 off the best time here. And a pretty decent, almost matching P6. It's like Giovanni West putting in a 143. Very close to the 142s. Good lap time from him. Martin Siffa, 2 purple sectors. Looking to push his advantage even more so. Favorite for the race win today. And see what he will do on the last sector, going very wide. Looks like that is he loud. And again, 3 purple sectors, 142.2, 1/10 off his best in the free practice, so plenty of pace still to see. Actually coming through the final part here. 144.3, still a P10. James Leader starting to pick up the pace of 142.8, E3, much better than what he did in free practice. Now we're on board with Xavier coming across the line. 2 personal bests. Let's see where he lands. Couple more seconds on his lap time. Giving a nice toe to Saucepan Willie here. Not going quite as wide. Saucepan Willie very narrow on the exit, along with Carson. Xavier improving a little bit up to P17 with a 145.4. Michael Smith, though, or Martin Smith, still very much having the advantage he did in pre-practice. 5/10 up on everybody. He seems to have really unlocked something that the other drivers haven't seen. Michael Smith, three personal best, but only a 158. Hopefully he can improve. He still has another time for a couple more laps. Looks like one more lap. On board with Brett as he crosses the line. Sector 3 seems to be the longest sector. It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully no driver runs into the pit lane there. It being kind of exposed like that. Very interesting to see how the pit lane kind of just on the track. But you do what you do. Brett with a small improvement to P16. 145.1. 4 drivers in the 142s. Penguin improving his lap time, hopping James Leader by 1/10. And just behind Dave Martin. 3 drivers separated by less than a tenth. Jordan White looks like he's not improving too much in this lap, but maybe he can pull together sector 3 and try to get a little bit ahead. P16, 3 personal best, so he is improving. He has time for one more time lap. Giovanni West with a purple sector 1, really going for it. Good showing from him so far. He should be able to get into the 142s if he keeps pushing like this. But only managing a not personal best sector 2. Went very wide there, almost kissing the rock. Yes, so there's no way I can get the transit van out of danger today, so drivers just have to be careful and not drive into the pit lane. Those rogue vans really blocking people. On board Pasha getting a personal best in sector 1, but another personal best, but still going to be quite a bit off the pace, unfortunately. Seems to not be. Penguin just behind him. Maybe he'll get a nice benefit from the slipstream here, but it might also hold out Penguin. Martin Smith crossing the line, keeping his 142.2. That is provisional pole at the moment. James Leader only managing a 142.8, P4. Penguin jumping Dave Martin by 0.3 for P2. Pasha with a P13, getting into the 144s, which good showing from him. Interesting. Dave Martin, again, not improving, having to settle for P3. Still good pace overall from all the drivers. On board with Gearson, 2 personal bests. But quite a bit off. Hopefully he can manage some type of jump here, getting closer. A 150, good showing from him, getting at least up to P19. We are in overtime here, so technically drivers can still set a lap. It will be legal. Oh, big slide from the driver in P7 there. I don't think it was very fast, but it was cool to see. Giovanni, looks like Giovanni West up to P4, 142.8. Great showing. Michael Smith and Penguin very confident in their lap times, just sitting in the pits. On board with Tyler Van Beek. Can he get into the 142s here on his final flying lap? And he does. A 142.8. Great lap. So that will round out top 6 all in one. A little bit of celebration spin there. On board with Smoke, our resident stoner that we all very much love. Just a couple drivers on track now. Like Dave Martin will have to settle for P3, but still a good position for him to hold the championship. We'll see if Penguin or him get a good start to try to challenge Martin Smith, sorry, for the lead. Games that are having a little fun here. 1/10 off. Looks like he is the last driver on track here. really pushing to see if he can improve his touching and kissing every single wall, as you must do on these kind of street circuits. And looks like he's not going to be able to finish this lap. Let's go into some interviews before quali starts here. Who do we want to grab? I guess we'll grab Penguin first. He's the fastest driver in chat. With Penguin P2, closest one to Martin Smith. How do you feel about your lap?
Honestly, I feel pretty good. That's probably I think that's my PB so far, so pretty happy about that. Martin, that's an insane lap by him.
Yeah, he was 5/10 up on everyone until you threw that lap together. Do you think you'll be able to challenge him in the race?
I hope so. With the draft in play, it should help me keep up with him, and hopefully we can fight for a position.
Well, good to see. Did you go for a more oversteer setup, or did you try to keep it more stable for the race?
So my setup is actually kind of in the middle. I'm mostly made it to go over these curbs.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a mix of both.
All right, it'll be cool to see how that works out. Good luck in your race.
Yep, thank you.
Who else do we want to grab? Roll the race is beginning, so probably don't want to interrupt too much. Again, with a very foggy race. So let's get back to the actual picture. Yes, I remember this time. Don't you worry. I know Dave was probably sweating bullets about that. Not really able to fix the CCTV thing, unfortunately, but we'll just have to. I kind of like the animation. Hopefully you guys do. 25 seconds till the race start here. Be interesting to see what Penguin can do off the start, if he can challenge Mick or Martin Smith, and if Dave Martin can take advantage of that. Here comes the lights. And we're off. We're on board here with Martin Smith, giving a decent start here. Looks like he's able to drive through turn 1 with no issues, holding the lead. Looks like Dave Martin jumped Penguin at the start, so he's going for the... Penguin did not get the best start. Dave Martin tucking into the draft here behind Martin Smith. Looks like Giovanni Lunch actually jumps James Leader, and Carson getting the position on Elbow here at the start, with Jordan also taking a position off Sauce Pen Willie. Looks like the top two getting a little squirrely here. That's allowing Penguin to jump back up. On board with James Leader here. Oh, Giovanni Lunch not having fun with that wall there. Gonna lose the position. Probably have a lot of damage. Now it's being challenged by Tyler Van Beek. Hopefully he doesn't have too much damage there from that. And be able to continue on. Oh, and he's off again. And he's gonna right in the middle. There's a huge pile up. It's going 8 wide there. That is insane. Hopefully not too much damage, but it's gonna really mix up the order here. We're gonna have a huge gap between the first top 6 and the rest of the field. But it looks like they all came away pretty unscathed. On board with Xavier here. Being challenged. He's going to keep the field very tight, at least, for a lot of the race. It's like Dave Martin is trying to stay in the draft. And we're looking in challenge position for P13. He's going to get the pass on Xavier. He does have the inside. Giovanni West off again, just not having a good race, unfortunately. Tires are probably very cooked from all the spins and the damage that he has. Xavier going on, holding on the outside there, and Kevin Woodward. Xavier forming a train behind him here. Kevin Woodward seems to have the pace. There's a little bit of teleporting there going on. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. Kevin Woodward trying to hold it on the outside again, but doing a bench. And there goes Jordan White. He's off. Driver's going to be out to very careful here. Not sure what happened there. It's like another bit of contact. Unfortunate for Jordan White. Just never seems to have the luck that he wants. On board here with Pasha, getting challenged by Carson. Carson very quick, very good at attacking. Oh, Carson does not see the wall there. And unfortunate, seems to have taken out another driver as well. Brett Williams getting caught up in that, as well as Brett. Oh, there's just carnage of the street circuit. Unfortunately, Miata was a little wider than Carson thought there. But seems to be drivers have gone back off again, so should allow the drivers who have been in previous carnage to kind of catch up a little bit and try to fight for some points. Jordan White trying to make some salvage of this race. On board here with James, I'm sorry, James was the fastest lap of 142.1. Better than anyone did in qualifying, I think, actually. So he's really flying now. James later up to P3. Pasha very, taking this very gentle, trying to get through. Looks like there's a bit of a queue forming behind Giovanni West. This just looks like all the drivers have had unfortunate accidents. Giovanni West a little wide there. Brandon Williams looking to see if he can get past. On board here with Jeff. Xavier really teleporting here. Looks like Brandon Williams getting past again by going back and forth in position here. Oh, maybe Jordan White can come back once these two keep fighting. Giovanni West very slow, trying to catch the car, does not lose it entirely, but is going to be engulfed by both drivers. He's having a monstrous time trying to keep that car stable. Just allows both Jordan and Brandon to take the position. Jordan having the best luck of that, getting two positions out of that. Giovanni West now under attack again by Xavier. It's like he's just really having a time keeping that car. Looks like Jordan was passed by Brandon Williams here. Ooh, Archie Bargy, both once more. Trevor's not carrying at all. Dave Martin is going to be under huge pressure here from James Leader. He's having an astounding race pace. So he's going to be having James in his mirrors the entire time. This might allow Martin Smith to run away. Excellent battle here between these three, trying to salvage something of the race. On board here with Brett, making a position on Jeff. He does have the run. Will he get the overlap? Thinks better of it, backs out for now. Getting a little squirrely there, a little wide, but he keeps the car and held on to. Back on board now with James. Only 4/10 behind Dave Martin here. It will be interesting to see if they decide to work together, or if James feels like he has the pace once he gets past Dave Martin to just challenge for the lead. Either option is very viable for him. This ongoing battle between these three is really intense now. Jordan White sliding behind. Giovanni West still looking on the inside. Does get the run. Looks like Jordan was a little wide there, so Giovanni West will be able to reclaim 15th. I'm not sure if Jordan's car is just too damaged there, or just a little bit of too much pressure. Even though Dave Martin is under a lot of pressure, he's staying with Martin Smith. That's good to see. See if James Litter goes for a bump draft, maybe. Try to push them into position. Martin Smith only managing a 143.0, taking it very easy. Both Dave and James in the 142s. Looks like Jeff gets an easy overtake here for P19. James Leader just looking to see if he can get past Dave Martin, doing an excellent job defending while staying. He's now only 1 second away from Martin Smith too, while defending. James Leader is really pushing, hopping that curve like it's like Ashley C going very wide there, giving Kevin Woodward a little sniff up the inside. This three-way battle is not going anywhere, it looks like, for first. Martin Smith not able to pull away. I don't know if he's trying to conserve his tires or just taking it easy, hoping these two will keep fighting and allow him to an easy drive to first. And we're making a move on Ashley C. He does get the overtake, nice and clean. And he managed to stay out of the wall. Seems to be a challenge for some drivers this race, as it is a street circuit. Hopefully Ashley C can stay with him and try to fight back for the position. She's going to come under pressure from Pasha, though. So he tries to make up positions as well. Back on board with the fight for the lead. Once again, Martin Smith 0.5 off Dave Martin. Not having the race pace I expected him to have, but still a really respectable 140. Looks like Penguin's coming back in the fight as well, only 1 second off James Leader. Should be a four-way battle soon for the lead. James Leader just all on the back. Dave Martin can only see him in the mirror. See if Dave can manage the pressure. Again, he's staying within 1 second. So maybe he can get a little bit of the draft, hopefully. Let's try to defend. James Leader going for a very wide line there. Back on board with Xavier, looking to try to get past Jeff Gibson. Jeff Gibson a little wide there. He's going to have the run. Xavier tucking into the toe. Didn't quite get the exit he needed to make the overtake stick, unfortunately. Dave Martin only 0.3 off Martin Smith. Martin Smith not pulling away like I thought he would once these two are battling. His setup might not be race pace friendly. James taking all the curb. Having a really good run on Dave here. He might be able to get the overtake. Giovanni West looking on the inside of Brandon Williams here. Brandon Williams does not seem to have the best conditioned car right now. Dave Martin seems to have warded off the attack from James Leader thus far. Getting a little bit of the suck now, being within 0.4. And then 0.2 back from him is James still, just not letting Dave breathe for a second. It's like Penguin is caught up, only 0.3 behind him. It's going to be a mega battle for first. All the drivers within 1 second of each other. A race wouldn't be super important for Dave's championship. James again going for that very wide line. Seems to get... Oh, and he does tap the wall just ever so slightly. It's going to affect his run here. He might lose the pack at this point, giving Penguin a chance at P3. Penguin 0.2 behind James Leader here. Does look like he has a run here. Will he have the ability? He's going in for the bump draft, pushing them back into the contention for P1. Martin Smith doing an excellent job defending. Doesn't take a huge amount of curb. He is going to tap the wall there. He's going to destroy his run here. This is going to be Dave Martin's best chance, I think, at getting the position. And then it looks like he's going to be released. Martin Smith and Dave Martin going side by side. But Martin Smith seems to have held the position back on board. And once again, they're back and forth. Martin Smith again with a 143. Just not confident in his race pace, looks like. Martin Smith being taken a little bit sideways there, but manages to hold the car. Huge argy-bargy fight as Ashley C makes a huge pile up. Not sure what happened there, but is good about a good, excellent rejoin from her though. Really respectful. Brendan Williams down to 1 brake light here. Getting all kinds of damage. Still Giovanni wants staying with him though. Going for a huge run, but backs out. James Leader getting spun out. I'm not sure what happened there. Was going to pile down the order down to P5, unfortunately. But he does do a great recovery. Penguin now in the lead. Dave Martin in P3. But James Leader does have the race space. He should be able to fight very soon back up to the lead. Just about halfway through the race now. And the fight for the lead is not disappointing. Penguin with a huge lead right now. Dave Martin looking all on both the back of Martin Smith. Martin Smith seems to have all kinds of damage. Dave Martin seems to definitely have the race pace. He needs to clear him quickly if he wants to challenge Penguin, otherwise Penguin will run away with this. On board with Carson having a little bit quiet race, like P11. But looking to make a move on Ben here. Brendan Williams packing up the Ashley C. And she recovered from the spin she had earlier. Going side by side. A little slow there. Probably caught Brendan Williams off guard a little bit. He's all on the top of her. And she gets pushed wide. Tamar looking the outside. Goes for the fucking position. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse there. But that was really exciting to see. Martin Smith fighting back though. They're side by side. It's going to allow Tyler to get close to them as well. Looks like Martin Smith holding out against Dave Martin. Now he's going to come under pressure from both Tyler and James, who's rejoined this. Penguin having a time pulling away. Might get the lead. If these guys fight for too long, he's probably going to drive away with this. 10 minutes left in the session. Dave Martin not giving Martin Smith any room to breathe here. As well as James closing in on Tyler. We'll see if his amazing race pace can continue for the last 10 minutes of the race. James able to just take so much curb there. He's going to get an amazing run here. Still having the draft from Dave Martin. Dave Martin pulling alongside of the lap traffic. It'll make things interesting. Carson looking in the back of Ben here. Penguin with a 142. All the drivers behind him with much fighting for position is going to allow him to keep driving away. Already at the 3-second gap. Looks like it's going to be, as long as he can hold it together, he's going to have P1 in the bag. But all the drivers are very equally matched here. Dave Martin, if he can clear Martin Smith, it'll be great for his championship. Excellent battling. James again going for this really obscure wide line. Seems to be the only driver doing it. Wonder if he sees something there that... He's kind of lost the draft though and is now under pressure from Tyler. Penguin managing a 2-second gap still. Excellent race pace from him. Looks like the Martin Smith and Dave Martin pulling away from James Leader, who is still very much under pressure from Tyler. The top 6 are just pulling very much away from the rest of the field. Martin Smith is a little bit free from Dave Martin now. Getting a little bit of a gap. James Leader being able to slowly pull away from Tyler, but with that draft, it's going to be incredibly hard to position. Everyone in the 142s now. Top 5. Putting very similar lap times. Looks like James is going to be able to put up pressure on Dave Martin now for the last podium position. Carson's still looking to try to get past Ben. Looks like they've managed to catch up to Kevin Woodward, who had quite a bit of damage earlier in the race. James not choosing to take a lot of curb. Maybe got a little bit of understeer there. Trying to maybe stay safe until he can get closer to Dave Martin. Kind of taking a go-kart approach, looks like. Penguin's still holding that gap. Now that it seems that once you clear the draft, you really do have a strong position for P1 for the lead of the race. On board with Ben, who has closed the gap to half a second to Kevin Woodward. Carson 1 second back behind him. On board here with Pasha. Seems to be kind of racing on his own. Maybe with some clear air, if there's any more carnage, she'll be able to make a position. But still a pretty decent result. James leader not giving Dave a second to breathe. Dave Martin seems to drop back from Martin Smith. It looks like he's going to just try to hold for P3 now. Lap traffic going to come, unfortunately, for Dave. Ben holding on to Kevin Woodward here, but Kevin Woodward a little wide. He's going to go for it. Gets pushed out wide, or just a little bit, not able to hold it, have a little bit of an oversteer and exit. And again, trying to see the inside up of Ken Woodward. Gonna go for another run. Maybe if he can force Kevin Woodward into another error. Kevin Woodward very wide going into there. Carson going for a very wide exit, going to try to get the run. Again, Kevin Woodward being under pressure from Ben. It's going to allow Carson to jump up and try to maybe take advantage of these two fighting. Giovanni Wedge catching up to Pasha here. Not having the best race, having all kinds of unfortunate incidents, but still fighting back for some good positions here. Pasha going for a wide line, get all that opening in the door there. James Leader looking very close to Dave Martin here, trying to go for the run, being squeezed, but he does have the run here, coming down into. He's probably gonna have to back out. Dave Martin giving the outside. Looks like Ben dropped back a little bit now. Is under pressure from Carson. Carson having the inside, gonna drive right past him, taking the curb and finishes the overtake. Great overtake from Carson. On board with Brandon Williams alongside Giovanni West. Looks like he does have this superior run and is going to get the overtake. Nice clean move from him. Brandon Williams now is going to be under pressure. He's going to give Pasha a little bit of breathing room. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the session. Like Ben giving Carson a little bit of a nudge, saying, hey, I'm here. I want my position back. But Carson tends to be very good under pressure. Very aggressive. Going super wide, though. And there goes Ben. Managed to save it. Great save from him. Like Dave Martin trying to challenge back for P3. He's going to be under pressure now from Tyler as well once he tries to fight James, who will not have the draft. So he does still have advantage to get the last podium position, which is super important for his championship. Tyler going to try to take advantage of Dave being overtaken by James to get a nice P4, but it's a great race from him so far. All drivers taking a lot of curb. Coming down the pit straight. Dave Martin being pulled a little bit away from James, being pulled away from James trying to get out of the draft. If Dave loses the draft, I don't think he's going to be able to fight back for the position. Dave and James both with the 143. I don't know if the damage is starting to add up, if the tires are starting to wear, or if it's just the fighting. Penguin keeping his lead off Martin Smith. He said he did have the race pace in our interview, so good to see from him. Carson holding the P9 now, Kevin Woodward. But he's under pressure from Ben, looks like Kevin Woodward. But manages to close the door. Ben getting a little bit friendly with the barrier once again. Trying to find every advantage he can and get the run. Pasha looking on the inside of Brendan Williams. Thinks better of it, backs out. Looks like we're coming up to the final lap of this race. I think 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Probably getting a little bit of oversteer here. Getting the run though. These guys getting very close to the wall, trying to push every advantage they can. Dave Martin staying with James Leader though. He might have one more chance at trying to get back up podium position. And all up on the inside of Ken Woodward, but doing a great job defending here. Oh, contact between Pasha and I believe Giovanni West. Pasha coming out not nearly as bad though. Not sure what quite happened there, but both drivers finding their way into the barrier, as they say. Once again, wow, in this last lap, Martin Smith under incredible pressure from James Leader. James Leader looking for a P2. Dave Martin right behind them, seeing if he can get an advantage. James Leader making himself known on the outside, compromising Martin Smith a little bit here, which has allowed Dave Martin to close up completely. Tyler just right behind them, maybe hoping for some type of contact. Dave Martin going a little understeery there. James going for that super wide line, going to go try to get a massive run. Kevin Woodward pressuring Ben once again. He's gonna, looks like he is not quite alongside James Leader. Very close to Martin Smith here. 1/10 separating these two. James does seem to have the pace. Will Martin Smith be able to defend on this last lap? On board here with Penguin. With a huge gap. Great race from him. Pulling out 5 seconds. He's going to cross the line. An excellent win from him. James Leader holding the position from Dave Martin. Dave Martin actually in the overtake. Penguin crossing the line and Martin Smith, P2. And Dave Martin managing to get the podium position back from James Leader. Excellent race from him. Kevin Smokey going for a nice P6, great result. And Elpo also with a P7. It's like a nice quiet race from him as well. Thomas Penwillian with a P8. And Ben not on the thick of it for most of the race. Alright, let's get some interviews going. See what we can find here. I'm gonna grab Carson. No, he's muted, unfortunately. I will grab Dave Martin. Here. Hopefully he can give us a good insight of his fight. Once again, on the thick of it as always. Great to see that he's having amazing. Dave Martin getting the podium position back at the very end of the race. Pretty much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, some pretty crazy chaos between you guys at the front.
Yeah, it was some really good racing. Unfortunately, I think earlier in the race, I'm not sure if you got it on the broadcast. Actually got a move on Martin. I took P1. I think I was clear, but just a little bit of misjudgment from Martin, and that ended up knocking me back down the order. So
I did see that.
once Penguin got first, he just ran away with it, blistering pace. But I will always feel like if I could have kept first right there, if I wouldn't have been bumped, I would have been winning that race. So everyone felt like they were right around the exact same pace, so it really could have gone to any of us four.
Yeah, Martin Smith not having the best race pace compared to his quali pace as the other three drivers fighting for the lead. So it was cool to see you guys try to fight.
My favorite part is I figured out. Speaking of race pace, I figured out how to take a corner faster, with 4 laps to go, 3 laps to go. So hopefully with this reverse grid, I'm going to be looking in a pretty spot. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Good luck to you, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Carson, my man, thinking the Miata is not as wide as it actually was. Unfortunate to see. How do you feel about what happened there?
Yeah, the first few laps were kind of crazy. Did you catch me absolutely just destroying that wall?
Yes, I saw it perfectly.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even see the wall. I didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
I was focused on Pasha, and then I hit the wall. I was like, oh crap.
Yes,
But,
causing lots of carnage, but it was.
Yeah.
But it happens.
It was a pretty good comeback. Pretty good comeback though. Got 9th.
Yeah, I watched a lot of your race. Seems that you still had the pace despite the damage to get back up to P9.
I just ignored that I had damage, and it worked.
That's I like that strategy. How do you feel about your chances in the reverse grid, and that you're a little out of position?
Not good. I'm still like a second off of the fast guys, so I think top 7 would be good for me here.
Oh well, hopefully you get that. And good luck not hitting a barrier this time.
No, I'll try just for you, Joe. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Carson.
Yeah, no problem.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Penguin with the runaway win. Walk us through.
Oh man, the very first few laps I was just not in the zone, and I was just, the gap on them was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But then got in the zone, able to catch back up. There was something that happened in like that turn 1 kind of carousel area, where all 3 of us just got bunched up. I don't know, but I was able to just run away after that happened. I was able to take the lead and just keep it the rest of the session.
Yeah, I think you ended with like a 5-second gap on the field, which is really crazy to see.
Yeah, I actually even set my fastest laps almost in the 41, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, hopefully you can get a 41. That'd be great to see someone actually manage that. Race is about to begin, so I'll let you get back to that. But great race and great win.
Thanks.
All right, race 2 about to begin here. And yes, I did remember to click it this time. Thank you, thank you. Cardinals fan here from Jeff Gibson, man of my heart, also an Arizonian. Starting P2 here, we got Brett P3. Cheez-Its are the best snack ever. Especially the puff ones. If you ever had white cheddar puff Cheez-Its, highly recommend. Xavier P4. Looks like lights are going out here in 10 seconds to go. We'll see what happens. And there's a jump start. That's gonna be unfortunate. That's gonna give him a drive through. 5 lights, 6 lights rather, and we're off. Again, Garrison a little slow on the entry. They're gonna give Jeff the run for P1 immediately. See if the drivers get through. There's carnage in the back. I'm not sure what's happening there. Maybe it's just the mirror perspective. Looks like everyone's getting away pretty cleanly. All kinds of something going on. So on board here with P4 Brett, having a little bit of a clean start. Pasha looking to take advantage of the oversteer there from Brett, but Carson slotting in behind him. Dave Martin taking a position off Xavier, looks like. Having a great run. Already P9 for Dave Martin. Things are kicking off greatly here. Carson going for the move. Getting the move on Pasha. Very clean move from Carson. Excellent from him. Already up into P4. Maybe his race is going to go better than he thinks it is. Pasha looking to fight back though. Looks like Martin Smith making a move on Penguin. That's going to be huge. Martin Smith also making a move. Looks like there was something happened to Xavier. Not sure quite what happened, but Alpo P6 having a quiet race. Pasha making a run on Brett as well as Alpo. Brett all kinds of compromised here. Gonna lose 2 positions there. See if Brett can hold it there. Oh, and he's, well, that was, yikes. Taking a little too much speed, not realizing the cars are going to be bunched up there. But it looks like there wasn't too much that happened. Alpo having the worst of it there. Brendan Williams also spinning Brett. Drivers just not being the most patient here. So, unfortunate karma revisiting Brett there. Dave Martin already up into P3 before the first lap even begins. Making the move on Carson. Carson might want to just tuck behind Dave, and they're going to run away with this. Dave way ahead of the other contentions here for the lead. Should be able to make quick work of Brandon Williams here with his pace. Carson looking like a little, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Also spinning out is Penguin. The leaders, this race is never over until it's over. Penguin trying to recover. Not good. Dave getting away well, back up down to P17 and P16. What an amazing start, but just unfortunate something happened between him and Carson. I'm not sure who was at fault there. So, looks like Carson getting overtaken by James Leader for P7. Jeff making a move on Ashley for P12. On board here with James Leader, who has only got Martin Smith ahead of him as far as the favorite race winners here. If he can clear this traffic quickly, he does have the race pace over Martin Smith, as we saw in race 1. But Carson recovering pretty well here, right behind James Leader. James Leader going to be held up by traffic here. They're going to be under immense pressure from Carson. Carson look on the inside dive, taking more of the curb and getting the move done on James, but James fighting back. They're still alongside. Does not give James the room and has unfortunately spun out again. Something happened with Carson and Kevin Woodward there. Lots of carnage in this race too, but excitement nonetheless. Only we're not even 5 minutes in, and all the kinds of things have happened. Giovanni West actually holding a lead. He was under a lot of, he did have good pace. He just seemed to make a few too many errors, so he might be able to run away with this. He's actually 3 seconds ahead. It could be a great race win from him. Or Jordan White, for the first time, not having the worst luck, as we've seen this race. Penguin, thinking coming up to him, is going to be on his tail very quickly. Dave Martin also P11 already too, trying to make up as many points as possible. James Leader making a move on Kevin Smokey, but Kevin Smokey fighting back. Looks like Jeff Gibson lost a few positions here. Topspin really looks like his spun and is stuck on the track and he needs to get going again. Huge. Maybe he has some issues with his equipment, looks like. And he's out of the server, unfortunately. These reverse grid races always seem to have quite the carnage to them. Tyler getting spun out by Michael Sid. Michael Sid not given room. He might have spun himself out there, trying to squeeze Michael Sid a little too much. Michael Sid looks like giving the position back. He's going to have the outside here. So regardless of whose mistake that was, Michael Sid taking the high road and giving the position back. Dave Martin, James Leader, Dave Martin, and Penguin all together again. Looks like they're fighting Ben here, trying to get past him and clear him. James Leader and Kevin clearing more traffic up right behind Martin Smith now. Kevin Woodward looking to make a move on Alp. Carson down to P17 again. Just not having the best luck, going for crazy overtakes. But still trying to make something of this race. Michael Sid very wide here. Trying to get going again. Like he lost position to Elpo. Carson really fighting Kevin Woodward here, trying to get that position back. Might be a little flustered given what's happened. But he's all on the back of Kevin Woodward. Carson going very wide, trying to hold the position. And it looks like he did get the overtake done on Kevin Woodward, who's going to slot in behind him. James Leader having to make up 6 seconds if he wants to challenge Martin Smith for position. Giovanni West holding a nice 3-second lead off Brendan Williams. He might be able to get the race win depending on how much trouble it takes the rest of the drivers to get through the field once again. Kevin Smokin actually staying with James Leader here. Maybe they can work together to try to catch the top 3. James Leader just taking so much curb, really getting close to that wall. Just going for it. Ashley C under pressure from Elpo, trying to make a salvage back some of his race. Ashley C backing out and losing position to Elpo. Kevin Woodward trying to stay with Carson, get back some advantage. Michael said very slow. There's a driver. Jeff turns sideways, but all 3 drivers narrowly miss him. Martin Smith. Brandon Williams a little sideways there. It's going to give Martin Smith a great run here. Martin Smith can easily clear Brandon Williams. He's going to have a great run towards Giovanni Rest and have very clear air. Looks like Carson got past Michael Sid. And depending on how much Kevin Woodward has to fight Michael Sid, he's going to be able to run away with this. Martin Smith still being held up by Brandon Williams here. Doing an excellent job defending. Let me compromise a little bit, but Martin Smith backs out. Being very clean about this. And we're again pressuring Michael Sid, going for a wide exit. And drives along the outside of him. Bravery. Excellent move. Very reminiscent of Kimi passing Alonso in Suzuka. I love to see something like that. Actually, very slow here. Elpo should have the run. And he's going to get the overtake fairly easily. Will he be able to hold, though? Actually, trying to fight back is going to allow Carson to drive up close to them. He's going to tuck in behind Elpo. With Carson Schwartz, I'm sorry. Trying to close up the gap. Fastest lap from James Leader, the 141.9. We finally got a driver in the 141s. Awesome to see. James Leader having an incredible pace here. Penguin right behind Dave Martin, putting on pressure. Both these drivers had an excellent starts, but just were caught out. But they've made great progress to the field again. Looks like we've lost another driver. Not sure why. I should see. Managing to stay close to Carson here. Penguin and Dave Martin having very close pace. Only 3/10. Penguin going to get all kinds of familiar with that wall, though. Unfortunately, ruin his run there, and it's going to give Dave a little bit of pressure. Tyler having a lot of understeer there. Maybe trying to lap the car. And that's going to pull him back, unfortunately, from Jordan White. James Leader already on the back of Brendan Williams. Martin Smith seems to have cleared him finally, though, and has had a 3/10 gap. Giovanni West, though, with also a 4/10 gap. He's going to be racing by himself. About halfway through the race almost here. James is going to put incredible pressure under Brendan Williams. But Kevin Woodward looking on the back of Ashley, seeing if he can get a move done. James Leader. Ryan Williams defending for his life here. James has an amazing pace, but he's very clean when his overtakes too. They tend to take a little bit of time, at least in my experience racing him. But once they're done very cleanly. Dave Martin and Penguin really catching closely to Pasha. The gap now only down to 2 seconds. They've done an incredible job catching back up to the field. Ashley getting overtaken here. Then we were making easy work of that overtake. So, going for as many points as they can here. Team's leader still has yet to clear Brendan Williams. Gap stays at 3/10. On board again with James Leader. He knows he has the pace, but the more he fights, the less time he's going to have to actually catch up to Martin Smith, who's going to really capitalize on that and gain a lot of points. Giovanni was also holding a good gap on Martin Smith, 4 seconds. Gap between Pasha and these two is down to 1 second. Will Dave be able to get the overtake done before Penguin puts on too much pressure? James all kinds have held up here by Brendan Williams, doing a great job defending. Once again, James Leader held up. On board now with Penguin, who's only 1/10 behind Dave. Is he going to be patient and let them close up to Pasha, or does he have the pace to think that he can just get past Dave and go for the overtake himself? Dave driving as wide as he can, making his Miata as wide as possible. James Leader making the overtake on Brendan Williams finally. He should release him in order to challenge Martin Smith for P2. Brendan Williams going very wide. They're going to touch the wall, and that's going to be an unfortunate spin. Losing another position here. But they do have quite a bit of a gap. He's going to be caught up now. Looks like Pasha being overtaken doubly by Martin Smith and Penguin. Something happened to Pasha there. Maybe looking too much in his mirrors, I'm not sure. Dave Martin into P5. Overtaking Brendan Williams. See, Brandon being a teammate of Penguin, very close friend, will let him go so Penguin can challenge the lead. Penguin getting very wide there. I'm not sure what happened. He might have tapped the wall again. But it's going to give Brandon Williams some nice breathing space. 1.7 gap. Brandon Williams actually challenging Dave again. Dave not able to escape as much as I thought he would be. Looks like Martin Smith putting in quite a bit. Both him and James Leader putting in a 142.9. Trying to maybe challenge back Giovanni West, who's still holding a very comfortable lead. Brandon Williams having not the best lap there, unfortunately, given the spin, but recovered still nicely to P6. Looks like we're coming into the last 10 minutes of the race here. Penguin trying to catch back up to these two. Dave Martin not being released by Brendan Williams, only half a second gap still. But Dave does have amazing race pace here at this track, so he might be able to catch up Kevin Smokey and get decent points, not let Martin Smith escape him too much in the championship. Brandon Williams not letting Dave Martin out of his sight. I know Brandon is fairly good at copying people's line. Steps a little bit there. It's going to lose him over half a second. And that's going to allow Dave Martin to run away with that, I think. And that's going to give Penguin the run on Brandon Williams now with only a 3/10 gap. Just pushing the limits a little too far, unfortunately. Penguin all up on the back of Brandon Williams. Is going to have an amazing run. Pulls out to take the overtake down the pit straight. And Brandon Williams will have to concede that position to Penguin. Penguin almost touching the wall, but managing a nice clean overtake still. Dave Martin not having the best lap. Maybe damage is affecting him a little too much there. Brandon Williams going very wide. It's going to allow Penguin to run away a little bit now. James Leader not making as much progress into Martin Smith as I thought he would. Still 4-second gap with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. On board here with Carson, who's caught up to Elpo. Not having another good race again. All kinds of carnage. He is making progress, though, down to 1-second gap on Elpo. On board with Penguin, who is trying to stay with Dave. He's going to try to get the draft backs. Dave slowly closing in on Smokey. Gap down to 5 seconds now. Was 7. So, in a couple laps, he might be in striking distance. Brandon Williams again getting familiar with the wall. Trying to push to stay with these guys, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's like a pretty quiet race now. Everyone kind of in the position, just trying to get close. Everyone out of position of the race, trying to close up the gaps again. But without the draft, it is very hard in these Miatas to really find any advantage. Carson not able to make progress. Elpo actually pulling away quite a little bit here. This gap staying at 1 second. Penguin taking 3/10 out of Dave in that last lap. On board here with Penguin. Gap down to 1 second, looks like, between him and Dave Martin. Dave is now 4 seconds away from Smoke. It's like 5 almost. Penguin not letting Dave out. Going out again wide, getting very familiar again with the barrier. That driver's trying to push the limits of that and just finding it a little too much. It's like the field is pretty spread at this moment, so it's going to really come down to whose driver can hold the concentration here coming in the last 6 minutes of the race. People getting fatigued, getting a little relaxed. They're really coming to bite you later on. Carson getting nice go-karting little trick there, looks like. I don't know. Getting sideways with the curb. No, that one wasn't not so nice, though. Again, getting familiar well. On board with Mike Smith, who is starting to make his push. Giovanni West down to 1 second gap. I don't know if Giovanni got out of sorts there in that last lap, but now he's going to be under pressure. Martin Smith hoping to get this P1 finish. It's going to give him a huge championship lead. James Leader gap down to 2.5. Depending on how long Martin Smith takes to overtake Giovanni West, James Leader could close up the gap and make it a three-way fight for the lead here in the last 5 minutes of the race. Giovanni West did not have a good lap, losing 1 second to Martin Smith in that last lap alone. Looks like every driver is doing a 142, high 142 here. And Giovanni West handled the pressure though and keep P1. This track seems to be very difficult to overtake given it's a street circuit, so as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he should be able to hold on to P1. It should be great for him. On board here with Carson, still trying to see if he can make any pressure on Elpo. They've managed to close the gap to Jordan White, so once Elpo catches Jordan, it won't allow Carson to close up as Elpo tries to find a way around Jordan White. Martin Smith going for the overtake for P1. Giovanni West not able to deal with the pressure. Going side by side here. Can he hold it? Very close to that wall. Looks like he's going to manage the overtake pretty easily on Giovanni West. Martin Smith coming back from not the greatest of starts and having the nice P1 finish. James Leader now only 1.3 back from Giovanni West though, but can he hold in the draft and these two pull away from James Leader? Martin Smith going for a very shallow line there. This could be under pressure from Giovanni West, who's only 2/10 back. He very much can get the lead back. It's like Jordan White under pressure from Elpo, just gonna let him by. Maybe he went a little wide there. Tuck behind him. I imagine Carson's gonna smell blood there. And try to get the position. Will Jordan White, though, not having the best. Again, Elpo going very wide there. Jordan White defending hard from Carson. Carson looking to see if he can get a way around. Tucking back into the slipstream. Is he going to go for the late break now? Looks like Jordan White letting him by. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Nowhere really Carson could go. A little bit of argy-bargy, but I feel like that was fair from Carson. Jordan White trying to fight Carson back here. Gets a little squirrely, but manages to hold it. He's gonna deal with lap traffic. Giovanni was actually staying with Martin Smith here. A great race from him. He's gonna be tucked in the slipstream. Martin Smith thinking his car as wide as possible. It looks like he sees a little bit of a door open there. If Giovanni Wash can keep putting the pressure on to Martin Smith, he might have the lead. He has the inside going into here. Like Tyler catching back up to Pasha. 6/10 gap. Looks like Martin Smith is holding the lead for now from Giovanni West as well. Giovanni West having a good run here, and looks like James Leader is now only a 10th back from him as well. All the fighting has allowed James Leader to in position. Giovanni West taking the inside there. Martin Smith opening the door for him a little bit, and now he's going to be under pressure from Pasha. I'm sorry, from James Leader. Sorry, they saw the Pasha livery. Got a little confused there. Giovanni West taking the lead back with 2 minutes left to go. Great effort from him. James Leader now all in the back. I'm going to push Martin Smith. Giovanni West can just keep it clean. Martin Smith looking on the inside there. A little bit of late braking. Pasha under crazy pressure. Looks like he lost position out to Tyler. I'm going to try to stay with him though. Coming down to the last final laps here. Looks like we got an exciting battle three-way P1 battle. Giovanni West, hopefully he did not get the best run there. He's going to be under immense pressure. Martin Smith looking to come alongside him. And he's going to have the clearance and get past. Back on board with Dave Martin, who has been under pressure from Penguin this whole time. Not making much headway into Kevin Smokey. Looks like it's going to have to settle for a P5, P6 for these two, unless something crazy happens. James Leader looking to put pressure on Giovanni West, who looks like he's lost position to Martin Smith. James Leader alongside. Gonna back off though, try to get the cutback. And Jordan White unfortunately spinning here. I'm not sure what happened. Looks like his tires might be a little damaged. But gets away again. James Leader looking to put constant pressure on Giovanni West, making his car as wide as possible. Excellent angle here. James Leader getting the run and getting past Giovanni West in the last lap of the race. Martin Smith does have a nice 1 second gap though. If he can manage that, he's going to get a nice P1 finish. Giovanni West trying to fight back for James Leader here. Martin Smith though out of the making sure he's out of the draft, and with the constant pressure that James Leader is going to face from Giovanni West, I think that's going to be a solid P1 for Martin Smith, who is going to extend his championship lead. Penguin not able to see a way past Dave. Both of these drivers having a very equal pace. Dave hopefully taking advantage of that turn that he said he found a great advantage of last 4 minutes of the race. And we're on the final lap here, looks like. Giovanni West not able to hold with James Leader. Looks like it's going to be P1, 2, 3 for these guys. But excellent race all around. Penguin's still trying to get it. He's getting very squirrely, trying to find any type of pace he can get. He's got a huge gap behind him. He has nothing really to lose for going for it. And we're going to be on board Martin Smith as he's going to cross the line here. Excellent win from him. And extend his championship lead. Taking it nice and smooth here. James leader only half a second back. And there it is. Martin Smith P1, James leader P2, and Giovanni West point in P3. Still a very respectable shot. Kevin Smokey with P4, good points for him. Dave Martin P5, Penguin P6. Brandon Williams couldn't quite hold the defense, still gets a solid P7. Followed by Tyler P8, Pasha P9, Elpo P10. Person not able to make a challenge for P10 there, and we'll finish P11. So, as we end this race, we're gonna take some interviews here. Who would we want to grab? Unfortunately, I'm not sure if our race leader is in the Discord. I'm gonna have to figure that out later, unfortunately. But let's grab Carson Schwartz. He had an exciting race. Carson, are you there, my guy?
I'm here.
So, you and Dave having quite the fight. Can you explain what happened from your perspective?
I think he missed the corner a little bit, and that made me miss the corner a lot more a little bit. And then I hit him. But that was a really bad race. I
Yeah,
thought I could have got 10th, but then I had a lap car mess with me, so that was fun. But
yeah, traffic,
yeah,
unfortunate. But
it is what it is.
so do you know who you feel was at fault between you and Dave?
That's probably me. I missed the corner, but
Oh.
yeah.
Well,
well.
it happens. You did your best for a good recovery drive. You still got okay points, but yeah, hopefully your next race goes a little better.
Yeah, the whole everything felt awkward today. I don't really know why. I was off, and I was trying to gain the time that I didn't have, so
yeah,
overdid it a little bit.
Lots of people trying to go for that, getting really familiar with the wall, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but still exciting race, and I wish you the best for the next one.
Thank you, Joe.
Kevin Smokey, welcome to the commentary booth. P4 finish. Are you happy about that?
Oh yeah, man, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, it looks like you had a nice quiet race.
Yeah, I was in my own world for both races. After like the first lap or two, it kind of just got quiet.
Yeah, there were lots of carnage though, so it looks like you avoided all of that.
Oh yeah, no, race one was that first lap was crazy because I was in some of that carnage, and I was surprised I made it out of that in T1, but avoided the rest of it and got through it.
Yeah, looks like you had a really good race pace and a nice solid quiet race from you, so glad to see.
No. Try to keep it consistent, and it was a fun flowy track, so it just worked out.
Yeah, glad you enjoyed it, and hopefully you can keep continuing this throughout the season.
Hey man, hopefully. See what the next track is.
All right. Back, throw you back up. James Leader, Mr. running through the field like it's nothing. Couldn't quite get P1 though.
No, not quite. That battle at the end was really something.
Yeah.
I knew Martin was a few seconds up, about halfway through the race. I could see Martin was a few seconds ahead, and then I think it was Giovanni was leading, and he was maybe 6 or 7. And I could see the lap times, and of the three of us, I was setting the fastest times. Martin was in the middle, and Giovanni was the slowest. I'm like, at some point, some people are going to catch each other, and we all caught each other. Well, Martin caught Giovanni first. They started battling. I joined in, and then we had a nice 3-way brawl for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, you managed to set the fastest lap and the only one in the 41, so great pace from you.
Yeah, thanks. I switched over to using Dave's setup in practice and picked up like a full second. I don't know what was different about it, but then just made a couple of tweaks and just started taking off the time. I think my quality time was like a 42.8 or something, and I didn't know where the time was. And just from getting into the race and being pressured by the people behind me and having someone to chase, and I was able to find a few more tenths and get into the 41s, which I was really excited about.
Yeah, you were flying there for a minute. Giovanni West couldn't quite hold the lead Martin Smith having the race pace on him. Do you think with another lap you could have caught Martin Smith, or?
I think so. If I hadn't made any mistakes, we would have stayed a bit closer together. But unfortunately, there's a couple of corners around here where the hitbox for the wall on the inside of the corner isn't where it looks like it is. It's a little bit further out. So yeah, when we were in that three-way battle, Giovanni just nicked one of the inside walls that where the hitbox was kind of a little bit of an invisible wall sticking out, and that knocked him into me, and we both lost the second or so, and let Martin break away from the group. But yeah, if we hadn't had that, I think we would have stayed a bit closer. I might have had a chance for the win.
But still, very solid results from you. Going to help your championship quite a bit, especially with the drop round. So,
yeah, it was a very fun track, 2 fun races, and 2 good results.
Excellent. Good luck on the next race, and hope to see more of your blistering pace. Always fun to see.
Thank you, thank you.
Dave Martin, unfortunate race 2. What do you talk us through? What happened?
I don't even know. I was going into the hairpin. I think it was Carson next to me. I think I turned in and there was no car, and then there was a car, but I haven't checked the replay yet. I very much could have been too wide. I missed it. Yeah, no, it could have been on me, could have been on them, but I have to go fly in the morning, so I'm not going to sit around watching all the replays tonight.
But still, great recovery. P5. Gonna lose a little bit of ground to Martin Smith in the championship, but do you think you're gonna be solid in the next track for maybe a comeback?
Next track's Road Atlanta. I'm usually pretty good at Road Atlanta, so I feel like I have a lot of I feel like I have a lot of pace there, or I should at least. But who knows? I thought I was feeling really good going into today's race, and then Martin pulled that quali lap just out of nowhere. Uh, Crazy lap from Martin. Um, so yeah, I have no idea how it's going to end up playing out next week. Kind of nervous.
Well, I have faith and confidence that you'll be able to challenge Martin Smith. Is a very close in pace. If you're a little bit closer to him in the race, I feel like it would have been better, given that you did have the better race pace today. Just unfortunate events happened, but still solid points. You got a great recovery drive, so.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, and that's going to end the interviews and the stream today. Excellent, really exciting race once again. Quite a bit of carnage, unfortunately, but still made for really cool drives for the field. Hopefully, we can see you guys next week. The next track, this is now the halfway point of the championship. So Road Atlanta is coming up next. Should be exciting, very flowy. I think it's going to give a lot more opportunities for overtaking. So hope to see you there. Have a good one, everyone.